So the question, what did you have planned in April of 2020? And if we can think back that far and project that question on our future, what do we have planned for our future, knowing those plans will change. But as the Alabama head football coach, Nick Saban, says, we can only control our controllables. So if we control our controllables, knowing that things are going to change, what we see as normal today is going to be different at some point in the future. Welcome to the M-Advisor podcast. I'm Paul Morton, a certified financial planner professional. The M-Advisor podcast exists to help busy professionals get an educated and clear vision about money. Talking about money is difficult enough as it is. Discover the confidence in creating a customized financial plan in a calm and casual environment. Not every professional should have the same financial plan. Everyone is different. Let's celebrate that. Every financial plan should be different too. Music used in this show is by the band Forum. Discussions in this show should not be construed as specific recommendations or investment advice. Always consult with your investment professional before making important investment decisions. Securities offered through Cambridge Investment Research Inc., a broker-dealer. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Inc., a registered investment advisor. Cambridge and M-Advisor are not affiliated. Welcome to the M-Advisor podcast. I'm Paul Morton. The M-Advisor podcast comes out on payday, the 15th and 30th of each month. Today is a little bit different in that I just recently listened to a podcast by Carl Richards, who is a retired financial planner who used to write for, I believe it was the New York Times. He recently had a piece of content where he asked the question, what did you have planned in April of 2020? Where were you going to go on vacation? And that is a really good question. In financial planning, it's a series of give and take. If you spend money somewhere, you can't save it somewhere else. And we make decisions, and those decisions independently accumulate and make up a bigger picture or a total sum of all of the decisions that we make. And there are consequences, both good and bad, for each one of the decisions that we make. And I think Carl Richards brought up a really good point in that things change. We had these plans for 2020, whether it was to go on vacation or a spring break trip with the family or summer plans for a summer vacation of 2020, and then things changed. And a financial plan is important to have to direct and guide many of your decisions toward certain values and toward certain goals. But what gets left over are all of those planned changes. And some of those changes we can control. We can control what our lifestyle looks like, how much we go out to eat, how often we go buy new clothes, and how much we spend on them, on shoes, on cars, houses, vacation homes. We get to choose that. Thankfully, we live in a country where we can choose that. But they all have consequences. And then things change, whether that be our paycheck changes, and we may not have total control over that. It might be that we're asked to move somewhere else, and then we have another decision to make. And there are consequences of all of those. Financial consequences, social consequences, emotional consequences. And they point to our plan where there is a final outcome. We just don't know what that will be yet, because there are things that we can control now, such as spending habits, lifestyle, saving. And there are consequences and changes that we cannot control, such as accidents where someone close to us has a health change or we have a health change, a job change where an employer, maybe a hospital system, makes a poor decision in a difficult economic environment and has to make drastic changes to our incomes and paychecks just to keep afloat. Or maybe our workload changes and we have to absorb that for a short time. So the question, what did you have planned in April of 2020? And if we can think back that far and project that question on our future, what do we have planned for our future, knowing those plans will change. But as the Alabama head football coach, Nick Saban, says, we can only control our controllables. So if we control our controllables, knowing that things are going to change, what we see as normal today is going to be different at some point in the future, either by just a little bit for the better or worse, or could be drastically different. Are we putting ourselves in a situation to adjust for that? Does our financial plan have audibles and have changes, and is it nimble? Or are we receiving a paycheck and spending all of it plus some? So as we look toward 2023, we do a lot of year-end planning and year beginning planning in December and January. As we look toward 2023 and beyond, there is no way we can spot all of these changes that will happen, but we know that changes are going to happen. Are you allowing in your plan and in your finances the ability to pivot and move a different direction or absorb a big expense? And these are some questions that you may just ask yourself on a pretty normal basis when establishing your own financial planning, and allow for these changes to occur. If we plan on changes occurring, yet we don't know what changes will happen, it could be that it's much easier to accept and to absorb and to move on with all of these changes. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you being here. I'm Paul Morton with M-Advisor. This is the M-Advisor podcast. M-Advisor provides customized financial plans for busy professionals. The M-Advisor podcast comes out on payday, the 15th and 30th of each month. And once again, I appreciate you listening.